Welcome to YouTube Excel Magic Trick number 1. Hey, we got a workbook here and I got the first 10 tricks. If you want to download this, go to my channel and click on my college website and there's a link to download this workbook and then you can follow along. Hey, in our first little Excel Magic Trick, we're going to see how to do formulas with cell references. This will show us the whole reason we use spreadsheets instead of handheld calculators. Now here's a net income budget. January, February, March, revenue expenses. We want to calculate our expenses as a percentage of revenue. Now, we don't want to put a formula here and type in the percentage number into our formula because then it's hard to update. So we make a little assumption table. I'm going to click in B15 and I'm going to type 0.6225. Control Enter. I put that number in and I Control Enter. That kept the cell highlighted. 0.6225. So our expenses for each month are going to be 62.25% of each one of our monthly revenues. Now I'm going to click in cell B11 and we're going to do a formula. Before we can do a formula, before you can tell a cell to do a calculation, you got to type the magic symbol, the equal sign. Once we do that, then we can use our cursor to click on any cell. Now so far this formula just says, hey, look at that revenue right above, one cell above. But we want to multiply it, so I'm going to use the asterisk symbol, either Shift 8 or on the number pad, and I'm going to click on my expense as a percentage of revenue. Now, if I left this formula just like this, it was always look one above and always 1, 2, 3, 4 below. Watch this. I'm going to Control Enter and copy it over and prove to you. I'm going to click in the last cell right here, and F2 key is the edit key. See that green one right there? It's still looking 1, 2, 3, 4 below. So we need to see how to lock that cell reference. I'm going to hit Escape and Control Z for undo. I'm going to hit F2. Look at that. That puts it back into edit mode. Now, that B15, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4 below, I want it to be B15, so you hit the F4 key. Whoa, those dollar signs are the magic symbols that say, hey, keep that cell locked. I'm going to Control Enter. I'm going to point to this fill handle. You can see that little box in the corner. This right here is the selection cursor. If you move your selection cursor right over the fill handle, you see a crosshair. That crosshair means you can click and drag. I like to call it, instead of a crosshair, an angry rabbit. I'm going to click and drag. Now I'm going to check by clicking in D11 and hitting the F2 key. No way! That formula worked perfectly. One above times always locked on B15. Control Enter. Now I want to click in cell B12 and do our net income formula equals. And instead of using my mouse to click up here, I'm going to use my arrow keys. 1, 2 arrows up, minus 1 arrow up. That formula shows relative cell references. Always look 1 above and always look 2 above and subtract 1 above. Control Enter. Point to my fill handle with my angry rabbit and click and drag. Now I'm going to highlight cell E10 and I want to add up all these 3 cells to my left. You could always use the auto sum button, and I have my ribbons turned off up here. Control F1 shows the ribbons in Excel 2007. You can click on this auto sum, but we're going to skip over that since this is the only Excel function that has a keyboard shortcut. Alt and then tap equals. Whoa, look at that. It puts the sum function in and it's guessing. The dancing ants are marching around the cells that it thinks you want to add up. If they're right, then you can go ahead and Control Enter. Now watch this. That B10 to D10 is really the 3 to my left. That's how Excel sees it. Control Enter. And then I'm going to watch this. There's another trick. If you double click the fill handle, it automatically copies them down. I'm going to click in the last one and hit F2 just to prove to myself that that formula is equal sum up the 3 cells to my left, because the blue ones are looking to the left. Enter. Now here's the reason we do this way in Excel. I come down here, 0.6225. Instead, I'm going to change it 0.75. Control Enter. Whoa, everything in the table updates. I can't believe it. That is the beauty of Excel. All right, come back next time for our trick number 2, and I'll show you some